Good morning, Staley, and welcome to this year's first edition of Bird's Eye View. I'm Melissa Bannister.
And I'm Joey Shear. Staley's Bowling Club has gone relatively unknown, but despite this, they've been able to grow their team and even take 7th in their first tournament. Nick, Cade, and Chad have a more in-depth look at this sport.
We hear a lot about football and softball and other sports, but did you know that Staley has a bowling club?
This is our second year of bowling club. It's an activity that we do at Gladstone Bowl on Thursday afternoons. Everyone who wants to participate can, and we work on building bowling skills. And then we have several tournaments a year where we bowl against other high school teams.
This is my first year with the team. Last year we had only about 7 or 8 on the team, and this year we've got 13, which is great to see. It's growing. It's especially a lot of new bowlers, which is fantastic. I mean, we want to just try and get as many involved as possible. Several of the bowlers already bowl some of the youth tournaments that I run for the 150 and better averages, and I think by the end of the season, most of our bowlers will be at that level. So.
Bowling club in general is just a time for students to come to the bowling alley and learn how to bowl, or if they already are a bowler, learn how to better their game.
The favorite thing about the club is the enthusiasm of the kids and the willingness for them to learn how to bowl, and that they accept an old guy like me helping them.
My favorite thing about the club, getting to know new people and watching their games develop. Through other coaching that I've done with other tournaments, I've seen 3 of our youth bowlers become professional bowlers. They do it for a living now.
My favorite thing about the club is just seeing everyone here and enjoying themselves and having fun and enjoying being around people. Everyone is very competitive this year, which is a good thing because we'll be ready for our tournaments and strive to win.
It is never too late to join. If you want to participate, just come out here on a Thursday afternoon. We'll get you signed up.
This is Cade, Nick, and Chad signing out for SCTV.
You can find the bowling club at the Gladstone Bowling Alley, but you can often find Swoop on the sidelines. Kyla, Joey, and Michael have a closer look at what the Swoop does for our team.
Friday night lights at Staley High School mean football, cheering, music, the crowd, and of course, Staley's most dedicated fan, Swoop.
When I'm out on the field and I'm interacting with all the fans and cheer team and football players, I'm really showing my emotion inside, and I don't hold anything back. And normally, for the most part, when I'm doing that and people are interacting with me back, they're normally having a great time, and it's awesome.
I think the biggest thing Swoop does is just more student involvement and being all fun and dancing around and cheering with us and just hyping everyone up.
When I'm getting involved, that feeling I get inside is just, I don't know how to describe it. It's just such a good feeling to have while I'm performing, I guess. So that's what dedicates me every single game to go out there and do that. It's so much fun.
He means a lot. It's great having him down there, making us laugh, and always keeping us positive.
I got involved because I just thought it was interesting. I thought it was something cool to do, something else to do, and it turned out to be something that I really enjoy and something I love to do, not only in my free time, but something I could pursue as a career.
For STTV, this has been Kyla Gaines and Michael Lagerwell.
Being welcomed takes a lot of teamwork. Teamwork has helped in a lot of sports, but the Staley football team has taken their teamwork beyond school. Here's Michael and Joey with a recap of this year's football season.
On that catch, the Staley Falcons sealed their destiny and clinched a state championship with an undefeated season.
When did I realize we're going to win a state championship? When the clock said 0, 0, 0, 0.
The last couple seconds, I was just looking and waiting. I was really scared, but then it all happened and all of my emotions just poured out.
With only 9 seconds left on the clock, the Falcons had one play left up their sleeve, the snatch play. And it won them the championship. But this one didn't just happen, no. It started last season, and with hard work put in over the summer and the winter.
The grind that you had to go through since we've been doing this since the end of May, I mean, just walkthroughs in the morning time. Just a group of guys. I mean, sometimes practice isn't the best.
That hard work led to great plays and wins, and it prepared them for the difficulties of a season.
We came back from behind in 2 games, week 5 against Fort Osage and then the state championship. And never once was there a sense of panic during that time. It was just focus and do our jobs. And if we all do our jobs, we'll find a way to win. And that's exactly what happened.
Those 2 games were not the only obstacles Staley had to overcome this season.
A key game, I would say, is the North Kansas City game. We didn't have our best game, even though the score was kind of lopsided. I thought we learned a lot in that game. It was a growing game for us. The Blue Spring South game, we had our struggles during that game.
Staley did in fact struggle, allowing 37 points and 400 passing yards to the Jaguars. The Falcons, however, would prevail 41-37 despite their mistakes, and it made them a stronger team. A team that would not be broken. A team who would not be forgotten.
Probably remember my brothers, the seniors, the juniors that played, even all the sophomores and freshmen. Everybody contributed to this team. It was probably one of the best years of my life.
You have one goal in mind, and that's how you got to get there, is go through the grind.
And grind they did. Your 2017 undefeated Class 5 state champions. Reporting for STTV, I'm Michael Lagerwell with editor Joey Shear and videographer Emma Downs.
Much like the football team, one Staley student has taken their talents beyond school. Carson Chase and Joey have a closer look at Mila Garza's story.
I get misty just holding your hand. Walk my way.
Mila is kind of that Renaissance person. She can just do a little bit of everything. She's a pretty good chef downstairs, so that's part of her program too. And she draws, paints, and is a phenomenal photographer. Her mom does photography, and I've known the family for quite a while. So she's just pretty talented all the way around. So it's exciting to see her get recognized for her artwork.
So for one of my concept pieces for AP Studio Arts, I created a blue oil pastel drawing of Jose Marti because I wanted to use it as an altarpiece for the College Spanish 5 altar we were making of Jose Marti, so we didn't have to print off a poster thing, so it'd make it a little more like creative and stuff. And so I drew it out and we hung it up with our altar and everything in the Maddie Rhodes gallery exhibit down in the Crossroads. And it'd been up for a couple of weeks. Everyone loved the art piece whenever I put it up, but I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. And then one of the senior artists from Hallmark contacted the Maddie Rhodes about the art piece, wondering like who did it, like who was the owner of the altar and everything. And they learned that it was Staley High School. Well, then they contacted the Maddie Rhodes, emailed Staley High School an image of my photo, and they're like, "Can you please tell us like who made this art piece?" And then it got back to the art department being like, "Can you have one of your art students claim this art piece?" And then I eventually claimed it, and they were like, "We fell in love with your art piece. We'd love to buy it." They are the owners of the Blue Gallery down in the Crossroads. I don't know what they want to do with it, but they love it.
Well, it was super exciting, especially because she didn't really like the piece. And then everybody here at school was so excited about it and proud of her and thought it looked great, and we're excited about that. And then when somebody else outside of our community liked it, she says, "I don't even know why, because it isn't that good." But obviously it was.
The Staley wrestling team recently got a new member of their own. Kyla Gaines and Kelsey Bennett have a look of what makes Taylor Thomas so special.
And it's not usually something that a girl does, so I decided to, just try it out for the year.
Taylor Thomas, a sophomore at Staley, has decided to join the wrestling team after 4 years of MMA experience.
It's a lot of commitment and hard work. They definitely don't make me feel left out from the sport. They like to pick on me and, not like in a mean way, but like in a funny way. Struggles is definitely eating and making sure that I'm staying in my weight spot and, cutting weight, gaining weight, and going to practice every single day and working as hard as I can throughout the whole thing and not getting tired and giving up on myself. Growing up, my inspiration was definitely Ronda Rousey. She was always somebody that I enjoyed watching and somebody I look up to. She just works hard for what she does every single day, and she's very committed to what she does. The goal is to hopefully get better at wrestling as a person, and I'm hoping to continue with it throughout high school, and if it leads me somewhere else, then hopefully after.
From SDTV, this has been Kyla and Kelsey.
Staley Swim has had plenty of successes. This year, one specific team member has an interesting background. Jared and Megan have a closer look at Jack Roberts' story.
Sometimes you are given bad news in your life, and it's up to you to decide how you handle it. Senior swimmer Jack Roberts has chosen to take his bad news and make the best of it.
I've always been a glass half full type of person because, if you're not looking at stuff positively, what is there to look at?
When Jack was just 5 months old, his parents noticed something different about him.
It was diagnosed when I was 7 months old, but they found out when I was 5 months old. And I was in the bath, and my dad noticed that I was only kicking with one side. So he told my mom that, and my mom did countless hours of research. And then 4 different doctors told her no, nothing was wrong, until we got to Dr. Rinaldi, my doctor that I still have, and he said, I can tell you right now that it was mild cerebral palsy.
Throughout his whole journey, Jack's family has always been there to encourage and support him, and perhaps the biggest supporter was his mother.
She's always been there. She's the one who got me into everything. Therapy, all that stuff when I was younger, she's the one who did all of that. So she's been my biggest supporter. She got me into swimming. She constantly tells me, just do your personal best. She's basically been my hero. She's always taught me that I can do whatever I want to and that nothing is ever going to limit me.
Everything he does with a smile on his face. He had surgery at 5 years old. He walked back there with a smile on his face. He's my hero.
Another unique aspect of Jack's swimming season is that he got to swim with both of his brothers.
I love them, and it's cool to be able to swim with both of them for at least 1 year. I always try to encourage them, and they're both way faster than me, so that's okay. So I always try to encourage them to get that next level, get state time, stuff like that.
Not only did Jack encourage his brothers, but he was also chosen as captain of the swim team because of his positive outlook.
No matter if other kids on your team are getting state times or something like that, or even in other sports, like doing better than you, it's not about that. It's about your personal best and how you can get better yourself rather than beating someone else.
For STTV and Jared Kennett, this is Megan McElwee.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Bird's Eye View.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and visit us online at StaleyNews.com.
And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel for daily shows and more.
Have a great day, everyone.